Hello, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. I hope everybody is well. I hope everyone's keeping healthy. And I just wanted to reintroduce myself. My name is Tammy, formerly known as True Crime Discussions with Tammy. You probably all don't remember me because I haven't been live for a very, very, very long time. I've actually had a few health issues I've had to deal with and still are dealing with. But I wanted to touch base with everybody and make sure everybody's okay and everything like that. But yeah, how is well, no one's in here at the moment, but I just wanted to give a reason for my absence for the last, well, this year, I should say. But for the people that had came in and said hello before I went live, that was GMT, I believe, and Gypsy. If you're both still in here, hello. Um, I haven't been live for about what, 8-9 months, which is quite bad for me. But I've needed a break from the YouTube, and I've needed a break from just life in general. The last you all heard from me, I was just out, well, not just out, but I had just more or less had surgery on my left eye. I'm still having issues with that. Still have blurry vision. So if I don't see your comment, please do not think for a moment that I'm ignoring you. It's just that it's going to still take me a while to get used to this new way YouTube has set everything up and StreamYard has set everything up. So please be patient with me. And let's get on with the show. Okay. As I said, my name is Tammy. You probably, if you have been a subscriber of mine for a while, you'll notice that I do a lot of this and I do a lot of that. I used to, and I still do, touch on true crime now and again, but nowhere near as much. I changed my channel name because I felt as though by calling myself, my channel, I should say, True Crime Discussions with Tammy, there was a lot of pressure to continue putting out true crime videos. So, okay, sorry, no, that's just no, I'm doing okay. Been better, been worse. With the eye surgery and stuff, when I first had my eye done, which was my right eye, my vision was great. Like I was able to read things, I was able to do things, and everything like that. And when I had this, sorry, what's this? As long as you're doing okay, no. Yes, I'm still here. How long does sorry, I can't quite read this. How long does it sorry, there's all these new gadgets and it goes, how long does it take you? I don't actually know. They reckon that it's going to take up to 3 years for my eye to allow me to see clearly. I pick up glasses tomorrow. I had to wait until I got the AOK from the hospital to say I'm allowed to get glasses, and I am allowed to get them. I'm short-sighted apparently, so that's going to be fun as friendly fire, so to speak. Um, yeah, after the surgery and stuff, like I was saying before, I went into a really dark, deep depression. There are a few people that have spoken to me away from YouTube, and I really want to just put out there, thank you for those who did reach out to see if I was okay. Means a lot to me. But like I said, I went into a really dark place. I've been trying to quit smoking. I've been trying to do a lot of things to try and improve my life since not being on here. It's proving difficult because I can't do the things I once could do, which is more frustrating than people can imagine. I'm still having issues with my hands. So hopefully with the glasses and stuff, it will help me a little bit more. I should have done the live when I had my glasses, but I'm hoping it's all okay. Now, quick question for those who are in here. Now, there's this part on the top of the page when I go onto YouTube, and I was in Save Robbie's chat earlier, and it's got this part where it says top chat or something like that. Can someone just click on that? Because when I click on it, when I go into my live, it tells me that I can be the first to comment or the first to send a super chat. Not asking for super chats, not asking for PayPal, but if you wish to, go for it, and I'm not going to stop you. But what I'm saying is I don't understand that little part that comes up by saying be the first to donate or send a super chat or a super sticker. I don't understand any of that. So if someone, whoever's in chat, can help me understand that, that'd be great. I don't know if that means that I'm now monetized or anything like that. I asked Robbie, he wasn't sure either. So it's just a little frustrating because I don't understand how it works or anything like that. Now, it gets really frustrating when they change things and I don't understand them, but as time goes on, I'm sure I'll get used to it. But like I said before, well, after my eye surgery, I went into a really dark depression, and I didn't think anybody in their right mind is going to tune into my channel when I'm talking about how I don't want to be here and all that sort of stuff, how I'm feeling lost nearly every single day. I don't think anybody wants to hear that. So I chose just to take a step back and focus on my own mental health and get better. So hopefully going forward, I'm feeling better, and I just don't understand how life can get so hard sometimes for me, and it still does get hard. And it's just, I don't know how to put into words how frustrating it is, because it's like trying to explain to somebody who's never tasted ice cream what it tastes like. You know what I mean? And I don't like being that person. I want to be the person that has answers for people when they're feeling that way, and when I don't have the answers for them, I feel absolutely like shit for it, to be honest. And it's very hard, like I said, it's a very hard feeling to explain to people, because when everybody around you seems like they're happy and they're content and their life is great, the last thing you want to do is really bring them down. So you try and put on, like a clown puts on makeup, you're putting on a facade. And I don't want to mislead people by saying I'm fine when I'm not. I don't want people to see that, or not, you don't see me, you hear me, but I don't want people to feel as though that they have to feel sorry for me. And I'm not saying any of you did, but in the off chance that happened, I wasn't prepared to risk it. And I found out that I have scarring on both of my eyes, which is great fun. So hopefully, like I said, hopefully with the glasses I'm getting tomorrow, it will help improve that. Hey, Woo, how's it going, Dal? Shouldn't you be getting ready for work, my dear little brother? But like I said, it's very hard. Okay, I'm going to quote something Elvis Presley this is. He once said, what was it? An image is one thing and a human being is another. It's very hard to live up to an image. Now, I'm not saying I have an image at all. But what I am saying is the fact that when I feel like I do, I don't necessarily want to be around happy people, because then I feel in my heart that I'm forced to be that way as well. And I feel, on most days, I feel good. I wouldn't say great, but I feel good. I feel very, 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 very. Yes, Andy, I'll see you then. That sounds good, doll. I feel as though that no matter how hard I'm trying, thanks, sorry, my brother's messaging me on Messenger, and it's very hard to reply to him. So hopefully he gets my responses verbally with me saying what I'm saying. I feel like I'm a constant letdown to my family, mainly my brother, because he's happy, he's healthy, He's always happy and healthy, but I feel as though that I'm letting him down because I have to be happy 24/7. And the other day I actually had what he calls a mental health day where I just focus on myself. And that's a very self-absorbed thing for me personally, because I don't want to be that person who feels that they have to take a step back from my family. Um but going forward, there's been a lot of sad news in the public, like Robert Redford's passing. That actually shocked me, because not that I think that if we get told the cause of his passing, we're going to, it's going to suddenly make it okay, because, I admired and adored Robert Redford, like my favorite movie of his would have to have been, what was it? Up Close and Personal. I don't know why that's my favorite movie of his, but it just is. I think it's because it's a more of a movie of today. And yeah. Oh, you're at work, okay. But yeah, my favorite movie of Robert Redford, some people find their favorite movie was, The Way We Were, A Walk in the Park, Bush Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, which was apparently Robert Redford's favorite movie. So yeah, that he made. So that's pretty interesting to hear that. And yeah, so Up Close and Personal, and there was a movie that used to be on Netflix, which I'm really quite pissed that Netflix took off from their streaming, and it was called An Unfinished Life. And it has Jennifer Lopez and Morgan Freeman in it. And that's a very, very powerful movie as well. So those are those. Those are my top two favorite Robert Redford movies. I have now obtained a copy of Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, so I'll probably watch that eventually, but just at the moment I can't, which is frustrating, but you get that. And then there's what else? Who else has passed? The lady, I can't remember her name, but she played Mrs. Bouquet in Keeping Up Appearances. And I was sad to hear that she had passed. There's been quite a few celebrities that have passed since I was last live, so, may they all rest in peace. But if they weren't a very nice person, may they rest in hell. Nah, everyone deserves to rest in peace eventually. But yeah, when back to Robert Redford though, he was an exceptional actor, director, producer, whatever else he was being. But yeah, he was someone that I wouldn't say grew up watching, but my dad used to put on Bush Cassidy quite a lot. So for those who are not talking and are just lurking, if that's the word you use still, I don't know. Hello, 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 and hello, because there's 4 of you. Please feel free to join the chat and say hello, but you don't have to if you don't want to. I'm a nice YouTuber, I believe. But, make your own judgment. It's entirely up to you what you think of me after you listen or you don't listen. It's entirely up to you. But like I said, I don't personally understand the new way that StreamYard is now set up. Here we go. So there's this sign. Okay. Where I am sitting now, I can read people's chats, but I can't read their chats, if that makes sense. Like Gypsy. Oh, hang on. Oh, okay, I get you. But like I said, I honestly try and do right by everybody in my life lately, but it's just proving sometimes quite difficult because, like I said, and Robert Redford was responsible for starting the Sundance Festival, where people go and show their movies, hopefully. And yeah, they get recognized, if that, or they get acknowledged, so to speak. So that was pretty brave of him to do that. You see, I've heard multiple reports by saying of his passing, that he passed away in his sleep, he passed away surrounded by family, but I do give the family credit that they haven't actually released a cause of his passing. So that's actually a good thing, because I don't think it's anybody's business when a celebrity of all people pass away. I don't think that it's anyone's business but the families. And I think that it will come out eventually, but just while the feelings are still raw for the family, I think they need to keep it to themselves, like, that's just my opinion on that. I've got to remember this whole time when I was away from YouTube, I was telling myself, now, when you go back, if you go back, make sure you mention at the end of every statement you say, in my opinion, because I don't want to lose my channel. And some of you may have thought that I had just walked away, but it wasn't that. It's just the fact that I needed a break from it. It wasn't necessarily like a break that I wanted to do. It's just the fact, like I said, I was feeling like absolute. Hello to the fifth person who came in. I just needed a time out, because what people who don't have a channel realize is the fact that every time a YouTuber, whether it's me or whether it's Joe Blow down the road, it's very, very, very stressful to be able to come up here and talk and talk and talk and talk. But what's also stressful is the fact that you have to keep people not only interested in what you're talking about, but you have to keep them somewhat entertained. And that's a very, very, very hard thing to do on a day in, day out, week in. You know what I mean? So I needed that time out just to be able to, like, basically recharge. And I hope that, going forward, my channel can be better than it was before. And I entertain you as well as, keep you interested in staying a member, not member, because I haven't got members yet, subscriber of my channel. Now, going forward with my channel, the thing I will not put up with under any circumstances is any bullying. If you are a moderator of my channel and you see bullying going on and it's aimed at me, I honestly do not care what people say about me. So, but if you are a moderator and you do see, say, a nasty comment, and you are friends with me on Facebook, you see the comment, screenshot it and send it to me. But if you think if it upsets you to read it, delete it. You don't need to send it to me, because, like I said, I'm trying to make myself a better person, and I don't want to give into childish games where people go, "Oh, your life sucked. Oh, you weren't even back a day and you're already pumping your PayPal." That's my choice, because this is my channel. All right. So if I choose to promote that I have a PayPal account, so be it. That's my choice. It's your choice to go and become a keyboard warrior and start typing horrible things by me doing that. Or coming to me and saying, "Well, you weren't even back a day, Tammy. Why are you already promoting it?" Because there are people, okay, I have loved, in a way, every single person, and in my own little way, every single person I've ever come in contact with through YouTube. Every single person that I've met through here, well, not met, but even people I've met, I have I have cared about each and every one of them in my own little way. Where I think I'm helping, I'm actually not. And so I apologize to all those who I thought I was helping, and it turns out I was not. Excuse me. I just think what needs to happen is, going forward, is that people need to take into account how like I said, how stressful it is to hit that go live button. Every time I've done it in the past, I have felt nervous, anxious, a little freaked out because, I'm basically talking to myself. And then when I talk about how if I'm struggling, apparently people don't want to hear that. But you see, here's the thing that I find most amusing when people say that to me is the fact that when people have thousands and thousands and thousands of subscribers, right? They can talk about their mental health. They can talk about their struggles. They can talk about how this is affecting them and all that kind of hoo-ha. And that's acceptable because they have thousands and thousands and thousands of subscribers. But because I only have, well, I'm not saying only because each and every one of you, I thank you so much. I have just over 600. I'm not allowed to talk about that stuff. I'm not allowed to talk about how when I chose to stop taking antidepressants, I stressed and I stressed. That was my personal choice. Do not stop medications if you're on them for a long period of time. Don't suddenly stop them because it could be disastrous for you. I chose to do that because I didn't like the way they made me feel. And that was my personal choice. And I actually got dragged through the coals for that because I'm basically, from what the person said to me, you're telling people to stop their medication. Actually, no. I'm not telling people to stop their medication. I'm telling what was my choice. Or if I'm telling them that I'm struggling, because everybody, or just about everybody, is struggling in this day and age. And I'm not trying to take that away from saying I'm struggling more than you or anything like that. Okay. I don't know why we're getting something about the World Championship thing, but okay. Great. That's awesome. I honestly don't really care for that. But anyway, but like I said, every single person out there, one way or another, is struggling. Even if you are struggling to figure out what to make for dinner tonight, you're struggling. Even if you're trying to figure out how to do your child's hair for school the next day, you're struggling. But the thing is, though, that people struggle on different levels. Like I said, what to cook the family for dinner that night. That can be a struggle. That can piss you off. That can make you frustrated and feel like, oh, I can't do anything right. Yes. But when you know what you want to make and you physically can't, that is actually a struggle in itself. I want people just to take a step back when people come to you and say they are struggling. Try. And I mean, just try this a few times. It might not work all the time, but it might work just on the odd occasion. Instead of saying to them, oh, it'll get better. Oh, you'll get over it. Oh, it gets easier. Instead of saying that to them, maybe ask them what's going on. And you'll be amazed because where somebody comes up to you and is happy to see you, maybe they're just happy that somebody wants to spend time with them. You know what I mean? Like, I don't see my brother as much as I want to because, he's busy with work and he has a life and last thing he wants to hang around is his big sister all the fucking time. But what I'm saying is the fact that when they're happy and then they're not, maybe just take a step back and, like I said, maybe ask them, like, what's really going on? Talk to me. And do it in such a way that doesn't make it sound like you're going, like, oh, what's wrong now? Oh, what's going on? Talk to me. Maybe say, hey, let me help. What's going on? You know what I mean? Like, you might not be able to solve all their problems in one afternoon, but give them reassurance that you're actually going to, I don't know, be there for them and do it in such a way that you're not judging them for it. it goes a long way. Like, while I was absent, I started going to church. Haven't been going for a while now because it just didn't fit for me. But I was just trying to seek, excuse me, I was trying to seek answers where I didn't have any. And it proved extremely difficult because I couldn't relate to what they were talking about. Like, there was this one particular girl that I was talking to, and I was talking to her about my problems, and her response to me each and every time was, "Well, God loves you." And I'm just like, really? I'm struggling, like, I just don't want to be here anymore. And I'm struggling with who I am as a person. And your response at every turn is, "Well, God loves you." Well, I'm sorry, but sometimes, as they say, that song, I can't remember who sings it, sometimes love isn't enough. And sometimes love is something that if you're not used to getting it, it's very hard to accept it. Like, I don't honestly walk around every day feeling like God's arms are wrapped around me and protecting me. I don't feel like that because of my past. And some of you know of my past, some of you don't. My past is a very, 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 very dark, dark place. And I've promised myself I'll never, ever, ever allow myself to feel like that again. And if anyone comes across in my life that I feel like does treat me like that, then they're gone. And I won't even bother looking back and like wiping my feet on their doormat as I walk away, because that's my choice. And that's my life that I have to try and contend with every single day of my life. And like I said, I've had the eye surgery, I had that in December, and my eye has not been better since, so to speak. I feel like the cornea is just not what it's supposed to be. Um, my hands are still going numb, tingly, and locking up on me. And to top it all off, I now have pain in my neck I was told that it was arthritis. And I was like, okay, well, at least I know what it is. Then I get told it's not that. He misread. And that has really actually pissed me off to no get out, because of the fact that I thought I finally had a reason for it. And it hurts from excuse me, it hurts from the top of above my ear to just below my shoulder, all in that area. They've done like the MRI or CT or whatever the frick it's called, and they couldn't find anything wrong. So it's just like, well, yay, it's a good thing, but like, nah, I want to know what's going on though. But we'll work it all out. I see my doctor next week on the 16th, I believe it is. So hopefully he can recommend something for me to do. And yeah, it's like people say, I'll put hot compress on it. No, I've put ice gel, or that ice spray, I should say, sorry, on there. That helped for about half an hour, and then when the pain came back, it's just like, yeah, not the best feeling in the world. The pain if anyone, not that anyone's asking any questions, but the pain feels like someone's pulling up on my shoulder, and then on one side of my shoulder, and then pushing down on the other side. So, or pulling my skin. So instant face drop. Oh shit. But no, then there's that Then there's that Kirk guy who was unalived. Now there are people out there who don't like his opinions and don't like anything he stood for or anything like that. And that is completely your mindset with that. But there's people out there who don't like him and they're actually celebrating his unaliving. And I think personally, like, I don't agree with a lot of what he said. Okay. I'm not saying I agreed with everything he said. There are a few things that thought, okay, well, that's a new way of looking at it. Fair enough. You're entitled to your opinion. The only difference with that Kirk guy who was unalived and say anyone, and I mean anyone on YouTube, is the fact that he did it on a more of a public platform. Now, I don't think he deserved to be unalived the way he was. I don't believe he deserved to have that happen to him in front of his family. And just because he took to the stage and voiced his public opinion. You know what I mean? Like, your opinion could be that I'm out of line, and that's your opinion. My opinion of you thinking I'm out of line is, well, explain to me how I'm out of line by thinking he didn't deserve that. No one deserves to be unalived. You know what I mean? Like, there are people out there who take the lives of people as though they're just popping a Tic Tac in their mouth, if that's a good thing to say. Like, and like, I was listening to this book. It's called The Stranger Beside Me, and it's based on the Ted Bundy story. And listening to that as I go off to sleep, I don't recommend it because it won't let you sleep, trust me. But it was an amazing story how he fooled the closest to him that he wasn't responsible for what the police had said he had done. Now, what I find interesting when I hear about that is the fact that, how can I put this? I'm trying to figure out a way to word this so I don't get kicked off YouTube after I've just come back. I'll think about it and I'll come back to it. But like I said, I don't believe that people that unalive people they know, or even people they don't know, I don't believe they should be. I don't know. I don't necessarily believe in the death sentence, if that makes sense. Because at the end of the day, if you're the person who, if you're the person who committed the crime and you're going up against, say, a firing squad, not really, the person who ends up, firing the crucial ammo that unalives that person, isn't the person that fired that particular shot also the M word that I'm probably not allowed to say on YouTube anymore? Isn't he one of those as well then? Or, or if you're responsible for flicking the switch on someone getting the lethal injection, are you responsible for... Hey, Jody, how you doing, sweetheart? Good to see you. Are you therefore responsible for unaliving that person that's laying on that bed while you do that? If you are responsible for pulling the lever or whatever it is on someone getting the electric chair, are you then responsible for unaliving that person that's sitting in that chair? It's just... Oh, Andy's gone to work, sweetheart. No one's here. It's like it says there's 7 people here, Carrie. Jody. But it's like, yeah, it's actually really quite sad. No one came to welcome me back. Oh, it's all right. I don't mind. I wouldn't expect a miracle, but like I said, there's 7 people, including you, that is here, and I appreciate you being here. So now there's 6. But like I said, like, I just think that, if you take a life or lives, you should be put into the pits of darkness and fed stale bread and dirty water. That's how I personally... Hey, TJ, how you doing? Oh, you're still here, Gypsy? Thank you. How you doing? How's everyone doing? But like I said, that's just my personal opinion. Okay, so if I'm out of line and you don't like my opinion on what I just stated, then I'm not going to apologize for that, but I will apologize if you think that I'm speaking weirdly. So I just think that what needs to happen is that the justice system here in Australia, okay, like, I live in South Australia, and the little boy that's gone missing, I had his name written down, but do you think I can? Well, somewhere on my phone, I had it written down, and I can't remember his name. I'm so, so sorry. But he was a 4-year-old little boy that went missing in South Australia's outback. Now, this is why I am ashamed to be. If anyone knows the name that is still in here, please, please, please put his name in chat for me, because I can't remember his name for the life of me. He was an adorable little boy. He was outside playing, and then Gus. Thank you. Thank you, Gypsy. Yes. And this is where it comes to play that I am ashamed to call myself a South Australian. They called off the search after 1 week. A 4-year-old boy is missing, and the South Australian police have called off the search. Now, that's what I've heard. I don't know how accurate that is. I don't care if they're sending out drones. I don't care if they're sending out whatever they're sending out. They need to continue searching for Gus. All right. He is a 4-year-old child. Okay. I don't think it's going to end well, unfortunately. But look what happened to William Terrell, which Aussie True Crime still discusses on Wednesdays on her channel. So please tune in if you want to hear more about that. It's disgusting. After 1 week, they call off the search. Yes, Gus Lamont. Thank you for that, Gypsy. I appreciate it, doll. I think it's absolutely disgusting, though. Like, what the hell? You switch off after 1 week? All I've heard is they've sent out drones to look around the sites. That's great. But what's going to happen if the drone finds him, hypothetically, finds him 20 kilometres away or so, hypothetically? How disgusting is that? How long is it going to take search and rescue to go to him? Yeah, I hope not. I hope nothing's happened to him that's sinister either, Gypsy. I really hope that he's somewhere safe. I really, really hope that with all my heart. But to call off the search after a week, I'm going to lose my shit here. That is so fucked up, and that makes me ashamed to say I'm from Adelaide or South Australia. Because who does that? You're not turning off the search for finding a missing adult after a week, so why are you doing it to an innocent 4-year-old child? Wake up, South Australian police. Get your asses back out there and keep searching. I think it's absolutely fucking disgusting that they've called off the search after only 1 week. I think it was a day short of a week, actually. I just don't understand how there can be people out there who supported to call off the search. All right, I'll be back in a sec, guys. Okay, please, while I'm gone, spread the word that hang on. Yes. Yeah, so many questions, exactly. I'll be back in just a sec. I just got to quickly go to the loo, but I'm putting my phone on mute. So hopefully I remember to take myself off mute, because I've got a habit of not doing that. But I will be back. Okay. Sorry, I was raving on and I realised I didn't turn off the microphone. Can you let me know if you can hear me? Please let me know if you can hear me. So back to what I was saying about oh, you can hear me? Excellent. Thanks, Gypsy. Oh, what was I gonna say? Yeah, he was outside. Now this is where I'm confused, all right? Parents afterwards what happened to I'm saying for kids who were playing in their yards, William Terrell and now Gus. There's probably plenty of others. But the thing is, though, they're not allowing people for the public to come out and look. Now, why? Your child is missing. The police has scaled back their searches big time, and yet they're not doing anything to find him. Oh, sorry, they're sending out drones because that's going to help, isn't it? Yes, let's drop drones. Yes, good idea because drones can save a life, you know. I don't know how far drones can travel. I honestly don't know. I don't know if they're more high tech than the ones you can buy off eBay and Amazon and all that crap. I don't know. But they're not letting people of the general public to go out and search for them. Shouldn't that be an automatic thing that they do? I just lost 4 listeners by being on hold by I went to the loo. That's lovely. Thank you for tuning in for those 4 people. But no, like I said, it comes down to the fact that it should be anyone should be able to go out and look, but at the same time, the police need to do more. I don't want this to turn into another William Tyrrell story where the little boy is missing for years, never heard from. He was heard outside and then suddenly silence. And the parents or the grandparents, whoever he was inside. He's a 4-year-old child. You supervise them around the freaking clock. Yeah. Yeah, maybe they do. Maybe they don't. I just think it's very, very sad. And if his family isn't somehow connected to this, I hope that, you know, I hope they find their little boy. Mm. Sorry. Yep. Summer Wells is another case, but I'm about like Australian cases at the moment, Gypsy. Sorry, doll. But no, that's another a little girl who went missing. It's just so fucked up that the world is coming to such a sad, sad place. Like, I'm 43 years old. Yes, I've had a birthday since I was last live. And it comes down to the fact that what are they doing to look for these children that are missing? Like Michael Jackson said, I believe children are their future. But what future are they having when they can't even play in their front yard without going missing? I used to go up to my local park when I was a kid. No one kidnapped me. I looked too much like my mother to actually say that I was kidnapped. Even though I didn't have, like, you know, any idea of stranger danger back then, you know. But yeah, I used to take my little brother for, as in, you probably all know him in here as the 88th slice of the cake. That's my baby brother, and I love him to bits. He shits me to tears at the best of times, but what siblings don't. But I'd be lost without him. That's for sure. You know, but I used to take him for bike rides. I used to take him to all these different kinds of parks in my area when in our area when we were kids and stuff. And excuse me. But, you know, nothing happened. Sorry, it's very hard to read comments. Oh, that's just telling me about. Oh, that's sorry. I've got to highlight this. So, oh shit! What? I can't actually highlight comments now. That's weird. Yeah. It's very sad that, you can't even trust the people in your general area in case they're responsible. It makes me very, very sad to think that this is what the world's coming to, like the world's already a fucked up place. But no, oh, it's just really, really, really sad that a child is out there, you know, lost, and the police call back the search, like call off the search, as they say in the headings. It's just really, really, really freaking sad that I just don't know what this world's coming to be honest with all of you. I hope that the next time I go live, there's an update on Gus. I really hope it's good news that I can share with all of you. But as days go on, I think that more positive answers are harder to come by. I just really hope that the family's not connected to this. I hope that, it turns out that he's, like I said, he's at someone's house, but who doesn't watch the news these days? Like, I don't watch the news personally because I can't. But I'm hoping there is good news by the time, whenever that will be, when I go live next. But if I don't go live again for a little while, please don't forget about me. And please feel free to reach out to me on Facebook. My channel name is also my name on there. Okay, TJ, thanks for popping in, sweetheart. I'll speak to you hopefully again soon. But like I said, it's just really, really, really sad where you can't even but like I said, why would you leave your child outside near where anyone can drive past and swoop them up and take them? Why would you go inside? Whether you have to go inside for 5 minutes, 2 minutes, a minute, you take your child with you. Like when I was in my 20s and I'd have to take my nephews, which were much younger, to toilets and stuff. I'd have them in the cubicle next to me, but I'd have them, I'd tell them quietly so no one could hear them. I'll tell them quietly, while you're in there, even if they didn't have to go into the cubicle next to me, lock the door, and as you're in there, knock on the wall constantly, so I know you're still there. But that was just, I know that sounds stupid and probably really weird, but that was just so I knew that they were still there. You know what I mean? But yeah. Anyway, guys, I'm actually going to wrap this up because I need to go and attempt to start my dinner. Yeah, that's very fun. But yeah, all of you take care. Thank you to everybody who came in tonight and said hello. And if you feel like you want to donate, my PayPal's in the description, hopefully, still. All money is going towards helping me get a few extra things that I need in order to do what I need to do in life, function, get to and from appointments and all that kind of crap. But until later on, and like I said, I'm hoping that I have good news by the time I go live next. I don't know when that will be, so please be patient with me. I just got a notification. Nothing worth looking at apart from telling me. In other news, Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban have split up. I predicted they split up about 5 years ago. But that's just, because there was this footage where at one stage Keith Urban was trying to reach for Nicole Kidman's hand and she pulled away and made it look like she was putting hair behind her ear. So I picked up on that was going to happen about, like I said, 5-6 years ago. I just hope that they're very happy with the decisions that they've made in order to separate. I hope there was no, affairs or anything, but as if they're going to admit that to the public. So then people will look at them and go, you shouldn't have done that. And then it's going to tarnish their names. So, they're not going to come out with that for at least a few years. But the dust is settled and they just need a quick paycheck. But, yeah, on that note, like I said, I need to go and attempt to make my dinner. And I have a few phone calls myself to make. So I hope you all are happy. Hope you're all healthy. Hope you all stay that way. And just remember, though, that if someone comes to you and they don't look like their usual happy, bubbly self, reach out to them and see if they're okay. Like I said, there are a few of you that did that when I was absent from YouTube for quite a while. And I appreciate that. It meant a lot to me that some of you did do the reaching out to me but like I said, if someone comes to you and they're saying, I'm not having a really good day, don't sit back in judgment of them. Ask them if there's anything that you can do to help them. It might not be financially. It might just be someone to listen. Because at the end of the day, this world is a cruel, cruel place, and it's getting harder and harder and harder and harder. It's not getting any easier. That's for sure. So if you know that somebody in the past has ever suffered from depression, reach out to them. Sometimes they just need to know somebody cares. So then they don't have to put on that fake smile to say, I'm okay. Because remember, it's okay to not be okay. It's okay to, have questions for why you're feeling like this. And sometimes it's good to get someone who's not close to you, like, a brother or a sister or a mother or a father or a brother, like I just said brother, or, a very close friend. Sometimes it's good to reach out to those people and let them know that you care. Even if it's just a message to say, hey, how are you? The person that you sent that to might take a while to reply because they're not used to, having someone reach out to them and ask if they're okay. Life gets hard. Every single day, everybody's life is difficult in one way or another. But it's up to each of us to actually help those people who are struggling. Like I said, it doesn't have to be financial. You can just be there for them and let them know you care. And sometimes that could be more rewarding than anything else in the world. I've made a lot of mistakes when I have my channel. I'm aware of that. But I shouldn't be held accountable for things that I do when I'm depressed or things I do when I think I'm helping somebody, and it turns out friends come and go, unfortunately. And hang on a second. Oh, okay. That's correct. Just got notification that I don't know where, but a man has been attacked by a shark. So whether it's predators on land, we've got predators also in the ocean. But yeah, that's a story for another live, I think. But may all the people in here who have lost somebody know that my thoughts and prayers are with all of you. For people who don't know which way is up, it does get better. It does. But talk to your doctor about it. Don't bottle it up like I did for years and years and years and years and think, oh, if I just push it down, hopefully if I push it down far enough, I'll be walking on it soon so I can walk all over the problem. Try not to do that, because trust me, it fucking hurts when it all comes crashing down on you. And I don't wish anybody to go through the struggles I do. I don't wish anybody to have issues being able to see properly or being able to prep a nice meal for myself. Like I have to buy, at the best of times, pre-made salads because I can't cut the stuff up to make a salad from scratch anymore because I still can't grip things properly. I'm trying very, very hard every day just to try and do one thing different every day to try and improve my life. And that's my choice to do it that way. It's not doctor recommended, that's for sure. But I don't want a tablet to control how I feel about things. I'm not saying that's what you should do. If you're on medication and it's working for you, great. but I don't want to be reliant on something. I don't want to be reliant on a drug to enhance my mood, but I am trying. And that's all any of us can do. All right, everybody, until next time, take care of yourselves, take care of your loved ones. As I said before, feel free to donate if you wish to. If you don't, then that's fine too. I'll just see you all when I go live next. And hopefully I get a few more people in here. And just remember, if you hear anything of that Gus little boy that's missing, if you have any information that could potentially be helpful, I do believe you can call Crime Stoppers here in Australia, which is 1-800 333 000. I don't know if they actually have that available for people to call if they have anything or they think they see him or anything like that. But just in case you do, please call Bank SA. I think it's still considered Bank SA. Bank SA Crime Stoppers on 1-800 333 000. And that was not a sponsored advertisement there. That was just me just trying to put the word out there, because at the end of the day, this live could be having someone listening and thinking, oh, shit, I think I saw that kid. You know, it could be the phone call that could change your life. And yeah. Anyway, so until next time, as I usually say, and as I say on The Truman Show, which is a movie with Jim Carrey, again, not sponsored, I don't get sponsors. And I think I've done pretty good with limiting my swearing on this live tonight. So, yay me! But yeah, so until next time, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Take care, everyone. Bye.